And we're live. A very good afternoon to you, and you're very welcome along to the Friday football betting show here, where I have a little bit of concern that, I mean, I'm not great at maths, but I do know that in the laws of probability, you're not going to be 100% right all of the time. But so far this season, every time we've enhanced the price for our users and our listeners, that price has been the correct price, and we've been winning. Leon Blanche is here, Phil Egan is here. How you doing?
Doing well, Chair.
We can't keep going with this. We just can't. At some point, we're going to pick losers.
At some point we will, but so far so good.
Just don't bet what I advise you to bet on. Just bet on the enhanced prices is the first bit of advice.
It's been a very good start to the Premier League. 3 out of 3 in terms of 3 weeks in. Every enhanced price has been a winner. This week looks a little bit more tricky, to be fair, but Arsenal, Spurs and Man U 7-2, but we're pushing it out to 9-2. offtheball.com/BoyleSports. Obviously we'll talk about a couple of those games, but it does look a little bit more tricky. But I think last week I was all over the Fulham and Chelsea double. Fulham were good, Chelsea got it done, and 3-1 I thought was just kind of too big for both of those sides to win.
Chelsea nearly bottled it.
Nearly did. Yeah,
they did their best to bottle it.
They did. I thought it was a good performance by Newcastle. They've been a little bit unlucky at home in the Spurs game and the Chelsea game.
Yeah.
Not to get more than what they've received, you know. So
I think, and as a result, I think they're going to be the price around Newcastle until they recover is going to probably be too high in games. They're 20-1 to win against Man City this week. I don't know a lot of people are going to be putting any money on that, but it's too big a price for a game where they could easily defend well for 90 minutes.
Yeah, look, this is the type of game I think where the managerial expertise of Rafa Benitez will have to come to the fore. He'll have to be at his brilliant best to hope for anything away to Man City. I don't think they will get anything, Ger, but we're going to talk about my bet builder selection a little bit later, but I can see Newcastle getting a goal there. Huddersfield scored there. City they're not solid at the back.
Yeah.
They just love to attack.
It's early season City form at the moment, and you can see that they're definitely missing De Bruyne. I'll just run you through exactly what's going to happen. We're going to talk about the various bets that we've picked this week. We'll run through each of the previews of the games as well and give you some prices on them. But as ever, we want your comments, and we've got some great prizes for the best comments across the course of the next half hour or so. We're live on YouTube. That's youtube.com/offtheball. We're live on Facebook, facebook.com/offtheball. And of course, we're also live on all of our Twitter streams as well.
Premier League Friday, thanks to the BoyleSports Bet Builder. Combine multiple selections into one single bet at one great price. Try it today at offtheball.com/BoyleSports.
Phil, how are you?
Yeah, good, yeah.
Welcome home. Phil's been on his honeymoon. He's been in Cuba.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Drinking rum, smoking cigars.
Have a few cigars, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, have a few ready maybe if the Dubs get it done on Sunday. Break one out.
If the Dubs get it done.
Ah, yeah.
Come on. When Dublin pulverised Tyrone. It's actually what all of those fans are saying off air. It's like, well, I wonder how easy this one's going to be for us.
What you're saying is have the cigar before the game.
Well, you know, I mean, that's basically what all those fans have been doing all week.
No. I think there's a little bit of optimism, certainly in the capital, about talking about 5 in a row. That's nonsense.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, it's not nonsense.
It is nonsense.
It is not nonsense.
Get the 4 done first.
Get your
T-shirts been sold. 5 in a row T-shirts been sold on Moor Street already.
And just while we're on, just one line on the GA. Don't forget, for anyone out there who doesn't have a BoyleSports account, 50-1 Dublin. offtheball.com/BoyleSports. You heard it right. 50-1 Dublin.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. So just a reminder, last week's John, straight on the nose, Fulham to win. That did happen. Kev's treble came in at 9-2. It was Fulham, Chelsea and Arsenal to win. So that was a winner. And my bet was City and Chelsea. Both teams to score. City screwed me, actually. Both teams to score. I was that both teams did score, but City to win that one, and then Chelsea, both teams to score was the other aspect of that, and that would have been a decent price.
You nearly got it at the death when they hit the crossbar. You were nearly there, Sergio. And I nearly got you out of jail.
I would have been pretty happy that the Chelsea-Newcastle thing was going to happen. It's just when you start looking at both teams to score as a way of betting, it's not the worst way of, like, so few games end in draws. Last week was a bit of an aberration. Generally, both teams are scoring at the moment. Yeah. Maybe as the season progresses and enough work gets done by the management team of one side, they start to understand exactly how to nullify the attacking threat. But at this stage, defences just aren't that good, right?
Also, as well, you get managers at the start of the season where they'll go for games more. But as the season progresses and they're down towards the bottom, then they start tightening up a bit because they think, right, let's play for a point. And if we get a point, brilliant. That's the way Newcastle are going to approach it tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's weird because there are the teams who go for it at this stage of the season who are actually crap teams, like Huddersfield last year or Burnley in previous seasons, picking up wins. Like Watford might be that team this year. Maybe Watford are a little bit better than those crap teams.
Watford have definitely got all the attributes to be that team that hits the 40 points and just signs off for the season.
In October.
Yeah. And that's what they've done. You know, in the past couple of seasons, they've started really well and then they've just faded away because the lads have already booked their Cuban holiday.
Yeah.
You know, to go on the summer away. But it's just that there is a couple of teams like that. And I think looking at Burnley, this is a massive game this week because, you know, they're out of the Europa League. I think that's a blessing in disguise now. Sean Dyche had some very interesting comments about the Europa League and how it's completely different to the Premier League. He was saying, I mean, we won't have time to go into it, but I think he's happy that they're out of it.
Yeah.
I think he wants to get back to the Premier League.
Burnley being out of Europe, not exactly unpredictable, and being happy about being out of Europe. I think they were one of the highest votes in terms of Brexit in favour of yes. And you look at the makeup of his team, it's not exactly a team that's built for a cosmopolitan society.
No.
Be happy now with their Premier League games.
Yeah.
Premier League only.
English football.
Yes.
Pies and pints.
Exactly.
That's exactly it.
Bunch of Irish lads, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, just to tease out the Burnley game, right? Burnley against Manchester United. When things go tits up for Jose Mourinho, they go tits up properly. Like, we forget how chaotic Chelsea were. The Eva Carneiro season, like, it goes tits up on the opening day of the season and it doesn't get better until he gets sacked. They're like 18th, I think, when he gets sacked. And then obviously, was it Ancelotti that time or was it, who came in? No, it was
Gus Hiddink.
Gus Hiddink came in that time and was like, this is a really good team. Why aren't you playing better football? And everything was grand. So, like, if we're on that same trajectory, and I haven't seen any evidence that we're not, then I think Burnley have a chance of at least getting something against Manchester United this weekend.
Yeah, listen, from a betting perspective, United are 6-4 on, away from home, against a Burnley side who, of course, are looking for their first win of the season as well. And you sense this is the type of game that Sean Dyche will be absolutely licking his lips for.
Yeah.
Sunday, 4 o'clock, at home. Come on, lads, let's get our Premier League season up and running. Massive pressure on Mourinho. If these players go off to the international break with 3 points from 12, or even 4 points from 12, there's going to be huge problems at United.
Yeah, and also as well, I always think the worst time to lose a game is before the international break because you can't get your players in, and then the quotes start coming from international camps.
Yeah.
You know, you get
Chilean radio.
Paul Pogba. Exactly. Alexis Sanchez. I'm not happy at United. Or Paul Pogba. I want to leave.
They won't pass me the ball.
Yeah. Anthony Martial, talk of him signing his new contract, which is a real two fingers to Jose, saying this he's the future. You're not. Like.
Yeah. I'm going to outlast Mourinho was the quotes that leaked into the press this week. And then Ed Woodward, apparently there's quotes in the papers today going, he's texting me kisses to my 3-year-old daughter. It's like, we're all best buddies. I don't understand where any of this is coming from. It's like, well, maybe you don't understand how the game is getting played, Ed Woodward, or maybe you're lying to us. I can't tell which it is. Yeah,
I just see, Jared, there's massive problems. I think the Champions League group, if they don't get out of that group, I think he'll be gone by Christmas, if he's there by Christmas.
Yeah.
This is a big game. I think Burnley are good enough to get something from the game. I can see a real... Sean Dyche will be telling his players, get absolutely stuck into them here. Let them know they're in for a real dogfight. And I just don't know whether this Manchester United side has the character. Has it got the right type of players to get down and get dirty in a really tough game away to Burnley? I don't see it. I think Burnley are good enough to get at least a draw.
Okay. So... I was trying to work this out earlier on because obviously everybody, I've been banging on about it. I'm not a huge Leicester City fan this year, and I'm definitely not a huge Southampton fan. I'm going to take them on whenever I get the chance to do that. But in games like that, do you back Burnley +1? Is that the best way of doing that? So you get the draw and you get Burnley to win. Is that the best way? Like if you think something's going to happen, or if you just think it's going to be a draw, do you go for the draw?
Well, look, I mean, the +1 obviously gives you that little bit of insurance. That obviously if the game finishes in a draw, you're winning. If unfortunately Manchester United beat you by a goal, you lose your bet as well.
Yeah.
So look, Burnley +1, I'm assuming, I haven't seen the exact price, but I think it would be a little bit lower than the price of the draw.
Burnley,
United don't...
Burnley +1 is 6-5.
United are not going to hammer teams. That's the way it is at the moment, where teams, the way United are now, teams are not afraid to have a go at them because they're not going to get picked apart and lose 4 or 5-0 the way you would against City or against Liverpool.
Crab up the pitch against you.
Yeah. So the worst thing that can happen is you lose by an odd goal against United. That's the thing. Even their first game of the season against Leicester, they're 2-0 up, but you still felt Leicester had a chance, and they obviously pulled one back.
Yeah.
And up until the very last minute, you're thinking they throw in the mixer and they actually could get a draw out of it. So teams don't fear United. That's one of the biggest problems United have at the moment.
That's why I'm actually going to stay away from our enhanced treble this weekend, because I don't back. I can't take Man United on or be on Man United's side against Burnley. But I do think that's not a bad way to bet on stuff if you oppose
I
the
think,
team.
Chair, as well, just the last
+1.
point on that match is that if you look at Manchester United's central defensive pairings, whoever it may be, right, Burnley have got 2 big, strong lads up front. So all you want to do is get the ball along the wing and put it into the box.
Yeah.
And then put them under pressure, because I don't think Jose has a clue who his best 2 are. The 2 guys he signed certainly have started terribly.
Yeah.
And then he brought in Jones last week and Smalling, which wasn't much better.
He's on the verge of some absolutely crazy decision, like playing Luke Shaw centre back.
Luke Shaw just got called up to the England squad. Things are going too well for Luke Shaw. He needs to be brought down a peg or 2.
So Burnley are 9-2. The draw is 13-5, and Manchester United are 6-4 on to win that game. I like a bet in that one. If I'm having one, it's going to be Burnley +1. First comment of the day that is going to win a prize from us today. Packy McGrath has been in touch on Facebook. He's all over the spread for Sunday. He says Tyrone +6, nap of the weekend. Packy, good work. I'm going to give you your first €50 free bet with thanks to BoyleSports, because you're losing your own money if you back that bet, I think. The Dubs have covered the spread pretty much in every game this year, bar one, which was the Tyrone game in Oma. And that was, funnily enough, the only away game that they played against any good opposition. But they absolutely annihilated the spread in the Roscommon game. And then there were other games where they just got it in injury time, but they were like 18 and 16 and 14 point spread. So I think that there's a good chance that the Dubs blow Tyrone out. This I don't think is going to be like a 5 or 6 point game, because I think that in an All-Ireland final, if you break the opposition's spirit, the game gets away from them. Like if Tyrone have no prospect of winning that game in the last 10 minutes, they won't be able to get themselves back into it. And at that point, Dublin will be rampant. And you'll see Cormac Costello and McManaman trying to get on the score sheet and remind everybody that they deserve to be there. Like, just, you know.
Yeah. Very interesting point Jim McGuinness said last night at the Roadshow in Croke Park. Jim Gavin calls them finishers. So the boys coming off the bench, they're not subs, they're finishers. And
they believe that. Like they've all bought into that whole thing. So, okay, let's move on to the Cardiff Arsenal game also on Sunday. Cardiff are 5-1 to win this. The draw is 14-5, and Arsenal are 7-4 on. I'm always very squeamish about backing Arsenal when they're odds on away from home.
Yeah, and they've actually been backed. They're now 8-15.
Right.
So some people have taken the 4-7. They've gone 8-15. And I'd agree with you with Arsenal. This is a big test. Like, this is going to be another game where Warnock could be saying long balls, get about them, get stuck in.
Long throws,
everything. Like, Cardiff will be difficult at home this season.
Will they? Are they not shite?
Well, scored in the league.
Yeah.
They scored in the League Cup there during the week. But
like, they might be sticky and they might be annoying, but are they actually... Is Neil Warnock not getting found out again here in this?
He's getting found out at the top level.
What do you reckon, Big Sam in November? Or will maybe...
October?
I don't know whether Big Sam will take on Cardiff.
Well,
they've got all the weapons for a Big Sam team.
Yeah.
He's got a long throw merchant in Morrison if he wants, or Gunnarsson, who's out injured at the moment.
Imagine being the King of Wales, you know? Yeah. Screw that Prince of Wales bollocks.
From an Irish perspective, it's good to see Harry Arthur playing. And he's come out actually in defensive, you know, and he's trying to talk up some of his teammates. But I don't like backing Arsenal odds on, but I think they'll get the job done here.
Okay, fair enough.
I think they're good enough to beat Cardiff.
What do you think?
Yeah, I remember Warnock doing a job in Arsenal as Sheffield United manager. Funnily enough, actually, Phil Jagielka ended up in goal towards the end of the game. But I can see that's the kind of game Warnock will love. Unai Emery, you know, trip to Wales, and Warnock could be there. You can imagine his pre-match talk in the dressing room. Let's show them. Let's show them what the Premier League is all about. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cardiff got a draw out of it.
All right, okay. All right, that's they're all decent prices. Okay, another one. Tweet coming in from LJ Keegan on Twitter. He's getting all misty-eyed about Everton's unbeaten start of the season. Everton top 4. Discuss. Everton are unbeaten at this point.
The only worry I'd have about top 4 is they probably should have 9 out of 9, and they shouldn't have 5 out of 9. They've been ahead in both of their drawn games, and they've shipped goals. Richarlison obviously is suspended, but against Huddersfield at home, I think they'll have to be put into your kind of accumulator this weekend, a 9-4 on. They'll beat Huddersfield. They 32,000 people at a second round League Cup game, Everton, against Rotherham.
Yeah, the good times are back for Everton.
But you know what's back? They're playing good football.
Yeah.
And in fairness to Silva, he plays expansive football. So, look, the Toffees, they're a well-supported club. They'll beat Huddersfield. Top 4, stretch too far.
Were the tickets free or something? What?
Probably what they would do, they'd definitely be cheap anyway, and they might have let kids in for free. But yeah, as Leon said, they've gone from just dour football. This is actually the corresponding fixture last season was Big Sam's first game.
Right.
I know he tried to take credit when they beat West Ham because he was in the stand that night, but David Unsworth actually was in charge. But yeah, they've gone from the Big Sam football to. I still don't even know if Marco Silva is any good.
I mean, there's a coincidental improvement in performance, and the quality of football seems to be good. So
yeah, the thing I'd say about him, Phil, is that the calibre of player who came to Everton in the last transfer window, I think he's able to attract that type of player. And I've been very impressed with how he's given those signings time. He hasn't just thrown them straight in. He's letting them get used to Everton. Probably fitness-wise, they've been a little bit behind some of the guys like Mina, who played for Colombia in the World Cup. But I think he's a good coach. I think players play for him, and I think Everton have got a realistic chance of a top 6 finish.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't think top 4.
LJ, you're getting a €50 free bet courtesy of BoyleSports. Adrian tells me, don't back Everton for anything ever, is what he says. That's his bit of advice for that, which is raining on your parade just as we make it rain. Pat Gallagher on Twitter says, I don't think Dublin covered the spread versus Donegal. Ty Carroll's making the same point on YouTube. Well, Pat, thanks for the corrections. But did they definitely not? I would have thought that they covered that spread against Donegal in the Championship.
I think, do you know what it was, Ger? I think it was actually a handicap draw.
Was it?
I think it was against
Best result for the
Donegal.
bookmakers ever.
Yeah.
It's like,
you know what? Like all this talk about the Dubs, -6 is around about 8 or 9 to 1 the draw handicap. You know, so Dublin to win by exactly 6.
Yeah.
Our odds compilers are not too slow.
No, the spreads have been like, they have been paper thin.
Yeah. I
think the exception of the Roscommon game in the end. David Coleman on Facebook, Big Sam is a Cardiff cert by Christmas. What odds, Leon? I've never seen odds on a next manager, even when a manager
we normally do
isn't open.
Odds on first manager to leave.
Yeah, and then when the manager's gone,
Jose is quite short for that now.
You can have the race.
Yeah, maybe it would be a Big Sam job, wouldn't it? Maybe
He just has all the ingredients for Big Sam. Just the way they play, they're awful to watch.
It's a bunch of fans who don't care if you play crap football is the perfect scenario for Big Sam to come into.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's get on to your bet this week, Leon, which is a bet builder. So we've been explaining them for people who are uncertain about what this is. It's your opportunity to combine a bunch of different outcomes from a match, like number of corners, first goal scorer, both teams to score, all that kind of stuff. This week, so we've gone for some long odds. The over 4.5 goal Chelsea one, which nearly came off when Hazard didn't start. This week it's a bit tighter and actually therefore more likely to happen.
Yeah, look, I'm going for Aguero to score first at home against Newcastle. I like City when they play later. 12 games with City doesn't seem to help them an awful lot.
Not great.
So he's 15-8 to score first. Both teams to score. The reason why I'm doing this is I don't believe in Manchester City keeping clean sheets, because of the nature of how they play. That's a 5-4 chance, and over 3.5 goals is a 3s-on shot. Put them all together and you get a 10-1 chance. So that's my bet builder this weekend. I just love Aguero against lesser teams. He just excels. I think both teams will score, and I think there's going to be plenty of goals in the late kickoff on Saturday night. So 10-1 for my bet builder.
Well, Aguero has scored 14 goals in 11 league games against Newcastle.
All right.
He scored 4 against them in the same fixture last season. So that's a fairly safe bet, unless they get a penalty. But
taking the penalties at the minute.
De Bruyne is taking penalties. Gundogan seemed to take penalties because Aguero missed a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But Gundogan mightn't
back on them.
Gundogan mightn't even play.
No.
Aguero might decide, I'm playing against Newcastle, of course I'm going to score.
Of course I'm going to score.
David Silva takes penalties sometimes, does he?
Yeah, well, I didn't think he took free kicks till a couple of weeks ago when he smashed that one in the top corner. But, City are going to win. It kind of does have the look of about a 4 or 5-1.
Is this now City about to go on a run, or are City human? What did we see last week?
They were unlucky.
Yeah, they were.
Like the goal, if VAR is in, that's not a goal.
Yeah.
Even though, it's not deliberate handball, but if you see it in a replay, you can't give it.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch the World Cup final. As soon as you saw the Perisic handball, you just knew the ref was going to give it. But they hit the woodwork. I thought Wolves took they picked their moments to attack, but not everyone's going to do that. Especially as the season goes on, as we said earlier, teams are just going to come to the Etihad and just sit back and basically try and stem the flow.
I think it's good for the league, Ger, that City dropped 2 points.
Yeah.
It's it's good. Listen, they're going to go into the international break with 10 out of 12. There's no crisis. They've got a great draw in the Champions League, which I think will help them in the Premier League up till Christmas. They won't be too worried about that group. Where you look at the main challengers, the Liverpools, I'm not even going to mention Man United, but the Liverpools, maybe Spurs have got a tricky group too. So I think the Champions League games will take a bit more out of those two teams than they will City. And I think City, they're still a team everyone has to beat.
Okay, so 10-1 is the price around Leon's Bet Builder if anybody wants to get on that. Kev's treble obviously last week was a winner for us as well, which was pretty good. His treble this week, we can bring that one up for you now. I actually just don't have it written right down in front of me. There it is, there you go. Crystal Palace to beat Southampton. Palace are pretty good at the minute. I just think Mark Hughes is not very good at football management anymore. But anyway, Crystal Palace 11-10 on. Everton to beat Huddersfield, as we've said in your accumulators. When we did this, I think it was 2-1. It might be shorter now, is it? And Wolves to beat West Ham.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting price because Wolves are away from home at West Ham at their horrible stadium with their horrible owners. 13-2 is the price about Kev's weekend treble.
Yeah, I mean, I think looking at it, Palace, definitely a better side at home than away. You think they might just have enough to see off Southampton. Everton, as we've already spoke about, I fully expect them to beat Huddersfield. And West Ham, I mean, Pellegrini, if they don't win at home to Wolves, like Wolves are away, which I think will suit Wolves because all the pressure is going to be on the Hammers. Yes, they won in the League Cup, but I mean, there's big pressure there at West Ham, and Wolves will be going in there. I like the way Wolves play football, Ger. They actually get it down, they have a go, they've got some skillful players in their side. Kevin got his treble up last week. I like the look of it. I think it's got a chance.
Yeah.
I think the hardest part of that is, like, West Ham Wolves is a tough one to call because I was encouraged with West Ham's performance last week. And Felipe Anderson in particular, they seem to have found his position. Arnautovic is going to cause problems. I know he came off injured last week, but he's fit. He's ready to go for this weekend. You can imagine if West Ham lose 4 defeats. It's never happened, Pellegrini. He's in all his managerial career, he's never lost 4 league games in a row. So
I don't think he's a bad manager, though.
No.
I don't know what's going on.
See, I always feel with West Ham, they're about 3 years behind when it comes to transfers. They sign players, you go, oh yeah, he's a good player, or was a good player. Javier Hernandez, Jack Wilshere. Arnautovic has actually worked out pretty well. Yeah. But Zabaleta, they sign these kind of players where, I'm surprised Yaya Touré's not playing for them.
I mean, at the top of the market, it's so weird. Yeah, there was talk of Touré signing for...
Yeah, he is... When Wilshere signed for West Ham, it was the most obvious West Ham signing. I know he grew up as a West Ham fan, but you just knew that they were going to take a punt on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not working out at the moment. He looks like a player who
was
cast aside twice by Arsenal. Yeah,
he needs players with energy around them. And when they turned up to Anfield on the opening weekend with him and Mark Noble in midfield, you knew what was coming.
Yeah. I think that's the key, Phil. Energy.
But Declan Rice got the hook at half time.
Yeah.
Even though the 2 lads were the problem.
Yeah. Everybody wants to talk about the Dubs game, to be honest. Sean Hayden on Facebook says, Dublin winning half-time and full-time even seems a serious price. I think that if there is any... Dublin haven't started games killing teams.
I don't think they're evens to win at half-time, full-time.
No?
No, I would say if they're a 6 on shot, I'd say it's probably around a 2s on, maybe a 4 to 9 chance.
Okay.
I'll check it, but...
That means to win both halves, basically, right?
Well, no, winning at half-time, winning at full-time.
Oh, winning the game. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I always thought it was to win both halves, that bet. No.
No.
Is there a different bet to win both
Oh,
halves?
yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Okay.
There is. Now,
All
maybe
right.
that's the one.
Maybe
That's when you hear
Yeah.
that. Go out there and win that second half.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
what they mean.
this is really important. I've got loads of money on it. Well, we won the second half. Like, you're very happy about that for some reason. Something that makes a lot of sense. Mel on Facebook says Dublin to score first, winning at half time and full time, 11-8 is the bet of the weekend. I don't think they care about scoring first. Do you know?
Probably
It's not
will though. There's times you haven't even got settled into your seat after hour on the vein, and they've already knocked
Scored a
over a
goal.
point.
Yeah.
Well,
Dublin.
the early goal. Yeah.
Half-time, full-time, Dublin, 4-9.
Okay.
Now, to win both halves, I will try and find that as we're looking through it now.
Okay, so that's 4-9.
Yeah, so Dublin to be leading at half-time and leading at full-time.
Yeah.
4-9. That's what I was saying. At 1-6, you wouldn't get Dublin at evens.
I mean, that's a way better bet than 6-1 on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they'll probably be 1-9 to 1-7 up at half time, having played badly.
You think they'll have conceded a goal?
Well, by a penalty after another clumsy challenge. Okay, some more comments here. Any chance of Bournemouth or Leicester to get something this weekend? As Man United let me down on Monday. So Bournemouth
Bournemouth are at Chelsea.
at Chelsea.
Yeah, that's my bet this week. Is Chelsea to win and both teams to score.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Because obviously Chelsea have conceded in every game. David Luiz plays for Chelsea in a four-man defence. I'm still not sure how Marcos Alonso is going to work out as the left back in a four. He's been very impressive, obviously, as a wing back. We know it's going to take time with Sarri. Bournemouth have beaten Chelsea twice at Stamford Bridge in the last 3 seasons, won 3-0 there last season. You know, with Bournemouth, they're always going to have a go. They'll get thumped a few times this season, but they just dust themselves down and they go again. That's the way Eddie Howe likes to play.
And you can see the benefits of longevity with Eddie Howe as well, is that everybody who comes into the team and the club knows exactly what the style of play is and what they're supposed to be doing. So, like, even if they are getting thumped, they're still going to be trying to score. It's not like they just fold the tent and go, right, that's it.
And they've got goals in their teams, like Wilson and King.
Yeah, they're the comeback kings as well. They obviously came from 2-0 down against Everton last week, but since the start of last season, nobody has come back and got more points than Bournemouth.
Okay.
From losing positions.
Well, that's pretty good. So what are the odds on your bet, Phil? We'll have a look at that. So Phil's bet is both teams to score and Chelsea to win against Bournemouth. That is 8-5. That's a good bet.
Yeah.
I like the look of that.
Yeah, I think both teams will score.
I'm kind of thinking, like, you know, it could be 3-2 to Chelsea or 3-1.
Yeah, well, we've seen with Chelsea already, Phil, they do give up an awful lot of chances.
Yeah. It's going to happen. Obviously, they've a new keeper as well. We still have to see how good he is.
They're actually great to watch.
Yeah.
In a way that maybe some of these recent Chelsea teams have been functional and not great to watch, particularly the Mourinho one.
Yeah,
it's very
Jorginho
open.
is interesting.
Yeah, he is a good player.
Like, he's just like he had more passes than Newcastle.
I like your bet too, Ger. I think your bet has a realistic chance. Palace and Everton.
It turns out great minds think alike. My bet is, stick it back up there first. My bet is 2 legs of Kev's treble. And it is, let me stick that back up. It's Palace, I believe, will beat Southampton.
At home. Yeah.
At home. And then Everton to win as well against Huddersfield. That's 9-5. That's definitely going to happen.
Everton are going to win. Palace should win.
Yeah.
Like you said, the only one that would disagree with you about Mark Hughes being not very good is Mark Hughes.
Yeah.
Because he really believes in himself.
At some point, maybe that might rub off on his players as like confidence as opposed to just smugness.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine being in team talks with him? That wouldn't be much fun, would it?
No.
I wouldn't like that.
If Palace had a goal scorer, an actual proper striker.
Instead of Benteke.
Yeah. Sirlot scored during the week. Maybe they drop Benteke.
Benteke was brilliant for that one season at Villa. He literally scored every type of goal.
Oh, he was amazing. He's a shadow of the player.
I don't know how
Liverpool,
that happens.
just the move to Liverpool didn't work out.
And he hasn't done anything since, has he?
No, like it's gonna. Like, can you imagine if you go to a club like Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp comes in, and you think, oh, maybe he just got rid of him straight away. Said you're not good enough, and that's got to mess with your confidence.
We're nearly finished.
One of the comments there, Ger, about Leicester.
Yeah.
That's a tricky game for Liverpool.
I think so too.
No Vardy, no party.
12:30 kickoffs.
Yeah.
Stay away. Who knows what's going to happen?
Love scoring against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So that's a big plus. But I was at Anfield last week and Liverpool were electric in the first half. Really, they could have been 3-4 up. But second half, very, very slow. Everything was there was no zip to it. And then he took off Keita and brought on Henderson. And as Liverpool fans will know, last year, Henderson, Wijnaldum and Milner together, nothing really happens. I thought it was a bit of a negative move. A lot of people sitting beside me were looking for Shaqiri to come on and play behind the front three and maybe do something.
Yeah.
But they got over the line.
So they have a proper goalkeeper now who actually makes saves. I know the save last week was fairly routine. We were watching it here in the office. If it was Karius, he would have saved it, but he would have palmed it back out to a Brighton player.
Yeah.
He sticks it back in.
Yeah.
This game might suit Liverpool though if Leicester have a go because they're at home. But I think Liverpool are short enough. I think they're a 4-9 chance away against Leicester.
I saw 2-5 was the last price I saw, and Leicester 6-1 at home to win.
Leicester now 13-2, Liverpool 4-9. The draw just under 4-1, 15-4. That's a big price for a draw. That's a big price
Claude
for a draw.
Puel, interesting. Leicester manager, brilliant record against Liverpool.
Right?
Yeah. Remember knocked them out of the League Cup at Southampton?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Shane Long scored that goal at Anfield? Liverpool didn't score against Southampton in the league that season.
When Puel was manager.
Yeah, he beat them when he was with Leon. He was the Leon manager as well. Certain managers. Now, it's all well and good. We're talking about Liverpool even last season. Liverpool have got their act together, yeah.
And there will be changes because he played the same 11 for the first 3 games. I think after the second half performance, Phil, he might look at just, not wholesale changes, of course not. The back 5 will stay the same.
Yeah.
They're very solid. The front 3 will stay the same. I just think those 3 choices in the middle might be a game for Shaqiri. I don't know.
All right. So you think that Liverpool are going to just about squeak through?
No.
No? Okay, right.
I'm going for a draw.
I think Liverpool
Do you feel?
like
Yeah.
2-0.
All right, okay. Well, the Leicester +1 might not be the worst bet then if you think that Liverpool are going to drop something there, because at least you get the victory if they do manage to pull it off. Is there anything else in the football at the weekend you want to talk about? Anything else that stands out? We've kind of covered the Cardiff Arsenal, Watford Spurs, Burnley Man United. 3 away wins is our enhanced price at the weekend. We've also got a special on Harry Kane to score first, actually, which I really should have mentioned, because there's a very good chance that Harry Kane will score first against Watford, and that is out to 5-1 for off the ball users. You just have to log on to offtheball.com/BoyleSports.
Well, that's a huge price.
Yeah.
Because of what he's done in the last 2 games in terms of getting the August monkey off his back.
Yeah.
We are into September, as we know, of course, when he plays.
Hat-trick, Harry Kane.
But
September.
you know what, like, Watford are playing well and they'll have a go. So that will suit Spurs down to the ground.
Yeah. Now
Spurs,
Watford, like, again, they have that 9 points already. Maybe they're celebrating and maybe they're relaxing.
Like they're effectively a quarter of the way to safety.
yeah, listen, I think 5-1 offtheball.com/BoyleSports first goal. That's a huge price. Harry Kane to score first at 5-1.
Yeah.
You won't get it anywhere else, and you won't get it too much for the remainder of the season.
Right, that's a good price there. Final one from Mel, who is he was the one who was saying Dublin to score first, winning at half-time, full-time 11-8, better the weekend. He says, I could be wrong, but from memory, in the last 5 All-Irelands that Dublin have won, they have never been ahead at half-time. Is that true? They've won those games by a point, so there's a good chance that they were.
I'm trying to think of the Mayo game. Remember the 2 own goals?
Yeah.
I thought Dublin were ahead at half-time, because I thought, I just remember going in at half-time thinking, if Dublin haven't, like, Mayo have scored 2 goals to them, Dublin are going to go and win this game, but it ended up being a draw.
Yeah, I don't know.
Choke in that game. I mean, they did a bit. Is there a possibility they choke in this game?
But all the focus was on Mayo, great comeback that time. But
Yeah.
if Mayo had done it, then Mayo were chokers.
But I have to say, Jer, Mayo were the only side that really came to Croke Park and had a go.
Yeah.
But they had the players to do it. Now, have Tyrone got the players, as the lads were saying last night, to come and change tactics completely and just go for it? I don't see Mickey Hart doing that.
No. If you want to get involved in that and you don't already have a BoyleSports account, get on to offtheball.com/BoyleSports. We have a 50-1 special. You can stick €1 down and win €50 in free bets on offtheball.com/BoyleSports. It is for new customers only, but if you're an existing customer, then that 5-1 about Harry Kane will certainly keep you interested for the first half anyway in the Watford Spurs game. Lads, thanks very much. Enjoy the weekend. 2 dubs. He's taking the whole week off next week.
You do that at the start of every year. do you?
No.
What about you? Are you in on Monday?
I'm in on Monday, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Early. I'm on an early shift as well, so there'll be gravel in my voice.
And roll over. Well,
You'll smell the Cubans. Who's in Monday.
they're confident, those fans. They are confident. If you're confident as well, get over to offtheball.com/BoyleSports. That's your Friday football betting show here with you every Friday around about lunchtime, 12:30 or so. We'll see you next week. Good luck.
Premier League Friday, thanks to the BoyleSports Bet Builder. Combine multiple selections into one single bet at one great price. Try it today at offtheball.com/BoyleSports.